Hi everyone, reporting back on day 3 in Copenhagen, and let me tell you, what a day it was. Maud and I and Brenton and Neil were up very early this morning to go to an action outside of the Canadian Embassy where we literally rolled out the welcome mat, oily footprints and all, for Prime Minister Harper. And this was a rally, about 100 people. And let me tell you, the cops and the police and the military presence there was quite astounding. In fact, we had a permit to be outside of the embassy, which of course was pulled which we found out on our train ride to the embassy. But we made do. We found a public space right by the embassy, and let me tell you, I'm sure they heard us. And what a lineup of speakers! There are a number of representatives of communities that are impacted by tar sands productions, including Athabasca, Fort Chipewyan, and Fort Smith, Ariel Durange with the Rainforest Action Network, Clayton with the Indigenous Environmental Network, and then we had folks who were there in solidarity, including Jess Worth, who's a big part of the UK tar sands campaign, because of course British Petroleum is a big player in the tar sands. We also had Maud Barlow, who spoke about the water impacts of the tar sands, the incredibly terrible record of the Harper government, and how the tar sands are driving our climate policy. And there was Naomi Klein, who also expressed her extreme disappointment, but much further than in disappointment, in what the Harper government's record is when it comes to the tar sands. And just very clear, the message was that the tar sands are having a serious impact on communities downstream from operations, that treaty rights are being overlooked, and that there's a lack of consultation happening, and that's a primary demand. And let me tell you, there was chanting, there was big banners, there was media there, which we'll be sure to report back on. Quite an amazing action, and that kick-started our day here for day 3 in Copenhagen. And this was an event that was sponsored by the Council of Canadians in coalition with the Indigenous Environment Network and Rainforest Action Network and a number of other groups. It was a fantastic event and a good way to mark day 3 here in Copenhagen.